Rhi, welcome to the show again.
Yes, thank you for having me again.
So good to have you on. I was thinking, new year, new me. I need to speak to someone who's going to give me all the intel on, and give
sure.
us all the intel on how we can sort of, I guess, show up in the best way possible for 2026. And you're my fitness and wellbeing
I
gal.
love that.
So-
Thank you so much. I'll try my best to inspire you.
Love it, love it. So for those listening, I have Rhi on the show. She is a fan favourite from the most recent season of Maths and the face behind Train in AU, and which is a fitness blog, and also runs 5 for You, a platform encouraging daily habits to enhance energy, confidence, and clarity. I love that. Where did 5 for You, how did it come about?
Sure. So I guess I've always been in the health and fitness space for a really long time, but obviously last year was an absolute whirlwind with filming, and I really did fall off track with my healthy habits. I probably felt, even though I was obviously in a happy relationship, which I'm still in, but it was one of the worst I've felt mentally and physically. And I thought to myself, what did I do last year when I was feeling my absolute best?
Yeah.
And it came down to these 5 healthy habits, which are pretty, like, everyone knows them.
Yeah.
It is 10,000 daily steps,
Yep.
45-minute workout, eating whole foods, and I say 80-20 because I'm a big foodie,
Yeah.
and whole foods isn't great 100% of the time.
Yes.
Well, it is for your body, but not for you.
Sometimes we just need that chocolate
Yeah.
and the good stuff.
Exactly. And 7 to 8 hours sleep a night.
Yeah, I'm a sleeper. If I don't get my 8 hours at least,
Yeah.
I don't know. And do you feel like this is already going off tangent? We
That's
do
all
have
right.
some audience questions for you, by the way.
Sure, that's okay.
But do you feel women need more sleep than men? Because I find I need more sleep than my partner. My mum needs more sleep than my dad.
Yeah, I feel like we do have a lot more on our plate, and I think our minds overthink a lot more than men.
Yeah.
But it is a snowball effect, and those 5 habits, like, if one thing lacks,
Yeah.
everything lacks. So if
Yes.
you don't get enough sleep, then the next day, do you feel like training?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. If you haven't prepared your meals, do you feel like eating a healthy salad?
Yeah.
No, you don't. You feel like eating crap.
Totally.
So unfortunately, when one of the habits lack, it is that snowball effect.
Yes, totally hear you. I want to start with an audience question, and we were just talking about diet, so let's go there. So, do you think diet is connected to confidence, and any tips on re-establishing a healthy diet? I have a lot of parents that, will DM me, and because I'll often post with like a jar of Nutella and a spoon and be like, it's been one of those days. And
Yeah.
they'll be like, I feel that way most days. And
Yeah.
ever since having children, where my whole, routine is all about someone else now,
Yeah.
how do I re-establish that diet?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I guess diet is one of those things, if you don't eat well, you don't feel well.
Yeah.
And it is also a snowball effect. Everyone has an all or nothing mentality when it comes to, not everyone, a lot of people have an all or nothing mentality when it comes to their diet. They think, oh, well, I've had a bad breakfast. I may as well have a bad lunch or dinner. But you are really one choice away from getting back on track.
Yeah.
But people keep thinking, I'm just going to start on Monday. I'm going to start on Monday. It's just, it shouldn't be that way. It should be, no, my next meal is going to nourish my body. It's going to make me feel better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when your mental space isn't as healthy as it could be when you are eating bad foods. And that's where I guess the whole foods comes in. It is good to try and have that balance where the 80-20 rule, making your next meal a positive meal can change your mindset.
Yes.
You can kind of snap out of it. You think, look, I've had a healthy lunch. I'm going to have a healthy dinner as well.
Yes, I agree with that. And I even think often when I'm feeling my worst, even just physically putting makeup on and like shaking that off and going, okay, I felt bloaty and I felt gross this morning, but put makeup on, let's go, game face. So it's just kind of just pivoting, isn't it?
That's exactly right, definitely. Just doing that one thing that you know is going to make your day positive.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I just spoke then about makeup, and for me that brings confidence. And I had a question that came through talking about confidence. So I want to be more confident and self-assured in 2026. Any tips on promoting confidence? Are there things that you do?
Yeah, I think backing yourself is one of those things. Confidence doesn't just come one day. All of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm confident.
Yeah.
Confidence for me is doing what I say I'm going to do. So, when you go to bed at night, you have all these great intentions for the next day, and then something might happen that rocks the boat a little bit, and then you don't do the things you're going to say, and you don't back yourself. I think it's backing, like, I'm going to do this, and tomorrow I'm going to show up for myself.
Yes.
So I think with confidence, it's all to do with self-care. Because as soon as you stop caring for yourself, you feel average, which then in turn makes you not confident.
Yes, and it's the little things, isn't it? As I said, for me, it might be putting a little bit of makeup on. For others, it might be wearing that dress or item of clothing that kind of helps elevate them.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for me, it's a fresh blow dry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that
all
just
about the hair, the zhuzh.
I've got
love
flat
that.
hair, and when someone can give me a bit of volume, it just,
You're like, we're back, baby.
We're
Let's
back.
go. No, I love it. And you just spoke then as well about those things that you commit to each day. And often we will sit there going, yeah, we want to get to that workout done tomorrow or whatever, and things happen and we don't. I'd love to know, this is a question that's come through, is there a minimum recommended time that you should be exercising weekly? What does it look like?
Look, I definitely think exercise is a personal preference, and it's all to do with purpose. When you move with purpose, you don't need to be exercising hours on end.
Yep.
Sometimes I hear people say, I went to the gym for 2 hours today. And I think that sounds terrible to me.
Yes.
It sounds really terrible. But if you have 45 minutes of purposeful movement, that is really all you need. And I think a lot of people think that training is punishing yourself. It's not. You've got to find what works for you.
Yeah.
Resistance training and weight training is my thing, and I think it should be done from everyone at least 3 to 4 times a week. But really finding what works for you, and I'd say a minimum of 45 minutes, because it's enough to make you feel good, shift your mood, and get results.
Yeah, and it's interesting as you say that. I think my routine when the kids are at school is just like chaos. I try to get 20 minutes in of like the dumbbell. So you're talking about the resistance.
Yeah.
Even if it's 20 at my front door where my mirror is doing the dumbbells. And then the other 20, for example, might look like, I don't know, a brisk walk with one of the mums before pickup, for example. So to your point, getting in that time is critical, like to some extent in how you feel, but also it may not look like one big chunk of time. Maybe you're doing little bits throughout the day. What would you say?
I think a lot of people really underestimate walking and like the power of just moving in any way. It doesn't have to be something so vigorous.
Yeah.
But some people do like, a 30-minute workout a day, then they don't move for the rest of the day. It's probably more beneficial to be doing like whether you set a 20-minute workout and then at the end of the day doing a nice brisk walk than just doing that really quick, tiny workout.
I feel like as parents, we are always on the freaking move. Yeah. So we're getting our steps in, running after these kids and everything. So, hey, incidental exercise, I'm so here for it. Another question came in all around feeling sexy again. So I don't feel sexy anymore like I did in my 20s. And the lack of intimacy is impacting my relationship. Any tips on feeling sexy again? And as I hear that question, I think it's a lot of the stuff you've been talking about. If you get some of that stuff right, you're going to feel like yourself again. Yeah,
definitely. It all comes down to self-care. Are you doing things that would make yourself feel sexy? And then even think back to a time, when did I feel sexy? And usually it's like in my 20s. And what were you doing then? It's like I was training a little bit more. I was probably eating a little bit healthier. And I understand that life gets in the way and it's hard to live a life that you used to live like you did in your 20s. But what's one thing or even 2 things you could implement that is different to what you're doing right now?
Yes. And I even think sometimes get your head in the clouds. So like I'm big on like those, romance novels and things just to kind of be like head in the clouds. And then you can kind of, I don't know, recalibrate because you're not in the to-dos and you're not in that mentality that we often are in of like what's next. Because when you're in that alpha energy, you don't feel sexy, right?
That is very, very true.
Yeah. Is there anything that like switches you into like
into sexy?
In sexy,
you know what? I think putting my phone down and not doing something on my phone. Obviously, I've got a few platforms and I'm constantly using them.
Yes.
But it's actually putting my phone down and just being really mindful and present and just enjoying your partner's time.
Yes.
Whether it is only for that 20 minutes a day after work, but being mindful, putting your phone away. Yeah. And then just seeing what comes of that time.
Being in the moment, baby. No, I love it. I want to ask, I liked this one that came through. We often get caught up in the drama with family, friends, otherwise. What's the hardest boundary you feel you've set when it's come to your mental health? And I say that you've got an added layer of like, you probably have a lot of views from the public as well and all of this. So how do you navigate that?
Yeah, definitely protecting your peace and your energy. And not having to people please all the time. And I may have mentioned this on our last podcast, but I have been known to be a people pleaser and really spread my energy out, which I feel like, everyone else is happy, that's amazing. And then at the end of the week, I'm so drained because I haven't done anything for me.
Yes.
And it's okay to say no. and say, look, no, actually, I've got a lot on. I'm working on myself at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think saying no does set the boundaries, and then people respect you for that instead of being known as the people pleaser that always says yes.
Yes. And even sometimes saying no to our children or our families and things like that. I just think what came to mind as you said that is we can't go to every bloody birthday party. Like, we just can't.
No.
Mum needs a freaking break.
Yeah.
Like, and for me, it's like Sunday is like my day of like rest. The day of
Yes.
rest. Even the children know. They're like, Mum, day of rest, Sunday. I'm like, if there's a birthday party, all right, we'll assess accordingly.
Yeah.
But Mum needs one day of rest. So
Oh,
do you feel
definitely.
sometimes you just need to have that allocated as well?
Absolutely.
Like, you time?
Yeah. The older I get, the more I need alone time.
Yeah.
And I don't even have children, and I say this.
Yes.
So I feel like even when Jeff goes away for a weekend, I actually just really enjoy that time to myself.
Yeah.
It's not even seeing friends, it's putting on some trashy Netflix show.
Yes.
And cooking a meal that I really, really enjoy and being in the calm and not being on my phone.
Yes, I'm so here for it. Okay, last question we have for you.
Sure.
What's one thing you're not going to apologise for anymore in 2026?
Saying no. Saying no is definitely it. I guess it comes back to protecting my energy.
Yes.
But I don't want to apologise for saying no, because I've got a lot I want to work on, and I feel guilty from saying no to friends or family. But sometimes you just have to pick and choose when you are actually really needed. It's like, do I really need to be doing this right now?
Yes, I love that. And like, preach from a recovering people pleaser to another. I hear you. I'm recovering from it, and I hear you. I think those boundaries are absolutely critical.
And I think people who are like your good friends and family will truly understand that. Anyone who has a problem with that,
maybe they're not for you.
Maybe they're not for you.
Yes, love it. All right, well, we'll be coming back with Rhi again for a part 2 for this conversation. For now, we'll leave it at that. Thanks, Rhi.
Thank you.